All right, party people, we are back with another episode, and this episode is going to be a doozy because we have the Shelby Cape in the house.
Hey, guys.
How are you doing today, Shelby?
I'm doing great, actually. Today's been a pretty good day.
Let's go. And here's the thing you got to know as we're jumping right into this. Shelby has had a busy, I don't know, I want to say year, but specifically busy like past 2 weeks with missions trips and conferences and getting back to school. She's a student at Warner University. She's running track. She plays soccer. And to carve out 45 minutes to come to our studio to share a bit on Thrive and Dive is just, wow, we feel so blessed. So thank you for that.
To be here.
Yeah.
It's
So
like crazy.
So I mentioned that you're a student at Warner University. Give us a little just an introduction. What do you do? What are you studying? What year are you at Warner University? All that good stuff.
Okay. So I am studying right now. Well, I was studying exercise science, but then this past year, like I felt like this calling to sports ministry, but we don't like actually have a sports ministry degree. Mm-hmm. So I was like talking to my teacher, and she was like, "Oh, I can like try to like help you like figure out like the degree or whatever." And she actually was gonna like make a sports ministry degree for me, but she's like, "This isn't gonna like be in time before you graduate." So she's like, "Hey, you can like do a general." What was it called? General studies degree. Yep. And so I was like, okay, bet. And so she's like, you just choose like 3 sections. So I was like, okay, I'll do sports, exercise, and Christian ministry. So now that's my degree. It's not officially changed. I'm a little behind on the paperwork, but that's technically what I'm doing now.
Nice. Awesome. I want to ask more about that later, but that's sweet. And then what do you do at Warner extracurricularly?
Oh, man. Okay. Extracurricularly. Well, I do have a job. I work for Cab, which is like all the
shout
events.
Out to the cabbies.
Yeah.
If you go to Warner, you know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But then I also play soccer, and I decided that this year would be a great year to add on another sport and do track.
Yes.
So.
And if you can't see it on video, but she is currently icing her leg right now as we speak. Talk about, my goodness. Yeah. So what made you decide to do track? Because you didn't do that last year because you're a sophomore, right?
Yeah. I did not do that my freshman year. I never actually run track. Fun fact. Never done it in my life. My mom always tried to get me to, but I was like, you're funny. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. So this year I was like, you know what? Let me just try to stay fit and like over the off season because we're on the off season right now. And so I was like, yeah, track's, it's easy. All you do is run. And so far I found out that there's way more to than just running. Yeah. And so it's been interesting. But my like motivation to keep going is that when I go home, I'm gonna ask my brother to like race me, and then he's not gonna know that I'm like gotten faster.
You've been training. Yeah, you're ready for this. Is he an older or younger brother?
He is younger. And he is 17. No. Yes, no, 16. 16. But the kid is taller than me, and he's just so annoying.
It happens. My little brother was taller than me when he was in 8th grade, and I was in college. So don't feel bad. But yeah, we're looking forward to maybe we're going to have you back on to give a review of that race that you had with your brother.
Yeah.
After running the track.
That would be amazing. That would be a story.
That's awesome. So soccer is your main sport, though, right? You've been playing soccer for how long?
I've been playing since I was 4. Oh, wow. Actually, maybe it was 5, but I knew I wanted to play when I was 4. But they didn't have like the team had already started. But I remember like
you're
sitting.
Like, no, as a 4-year-old, the team's already started. I want to play.
That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, Mom, when can I go play? When can I go play? Because I guess she was like flipping like on the TV screen to like find me something to watch. And then I was like, Mom, stop. I was like, go back. And she's like, what? She's like, I didn't see like a cartoon. And so she goes back and I'm like, stop. And she like stops on like a soccer game. And I was like, that's what I want to do.
Really? As a 4-year-old?
As a 4-year-old. I don't remember this. This is just what she told me.
Wow.
But yeah, so I do remember though constantly asking like, Mom, when can I go play? When can I go play?
Yeah. Was soccer like in your family? Did your parents play it or anything? Or are you the first pioneer of a soccer player?
Kind of pioneer a soccer player. I mean, my dad did play a little bit, but he raced motocross. So he like was all of their dirt bikes, all that stuff. So like, he broke a lot of bones doing that. So
basically though, your interest in soccer wasn't necessarily, because for me, I was into soccer. I played soccer because my parents like soccer and they coached me. So they kind of invited me into the game, but you literally saw it on TV. You're like, I want to do that.
I was like, I want to do whatever that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so cool. It wasn't like in our family or anything. Like my mom did cheer, and then my dad raced. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And what position do you play at Warner University?
I play it's changed, but I play like right or left wing most of the time.
Nice.
But in our formation, that's like a wing back and a regular wing. So I just have to run all the way back down and then all the way back up. So
let's go. And we went to one of your games. I remember you playing Weber, one of our rivals.
That was a good
and
game.
And you guys won. You beat them. I think it was senior night.
Yeah.
And one of your teammates scored like 4 goals.
Oh, she did. It was crazy.
One game. That's
It was
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, but you're speedy. I can see why you're doing track. I think you're already fast enough to beat your brother. So
hey, I can tie him, but we gotta, he's a little too confident in himself right now. We gotta pipe him down a little bit.
Okay, awesome, great. Well, there's a brief introduction to the Shelby Cape, and now we just want to jump more into your story. I want to hear more about this ministry. It's called a ministry you kind of have going on with sports ministry. But if you don't mind, can you kind of like rewind the tape and talk to us about the earlier years growing up in the Cape household? Where'd you live? What was life like back then? Just give us all the deets.
So I'm terrible with memory, but what I can remember was like we originally lived in Lakeland, and I've like always grown up a Christian. Like we've been going to the same church since I was born. So we go to church in Brandon. So it's like a 40-minute drive probably. But we've been going there since my whole life, and it's like we haven't changed. But we grew up in Lakeland, and then we moved to, I think after like my sister and my brother were born, we moved. Well, we were moving to Plant City, but
You're the oldest of 3?
4. Well, yeah.
4. Oh,
well,
wow.
wait, there's 4 of us.
Oh, cool.
But
cool,
I'm
cool.
the oldest of.
But you're the oldest. Yeah,
yeah.
well, that's cool.
I don't know how
Nice.
is that how you say it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. So there was just 3 of us at the time though, and so we were
Gotcha,
trying to like
okay.
find like a bigger house, and so we ended up moving because that was like a what's it called, a subdivision, I think. Yeah, a subdivision, and so we were trying to like find a different place, and it took because we found one, and it's like just this huge like yard of like grass. So there was like not much.
Perfect for soccer.
Exactly. But this grass was like as tall as like me when I was like 10 years old.
Oh,
Like it was
gosh.
really tall. But we ended up trying to move there, and the like permit, it was like in a flood zone. So it basically took us 9 months to like build the house, which was like really long. So we moved to my grandparents, and then we ended up moving into an apartment for like a little bit, and then we moved back into my grandparents, and then finally we were able to like move into the house. So that's where we've been. I've been there since I was probably like, I think I was like, I don't know, probably like 10 to 13, somewhere between that
Nice.
range. So we've
awesome.
been there like probably most of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, we grew up there. I always went to church, did that, but I never really started like what's it called, like putting like words are hard, like putting reality to my faith, I guess.
Making it your own and
Yeah.
like making it
Yes,
practical.
that's the word.
Just kind of what you're taught. Yeah.
Yes. So I never like did that until like probably 2 or 3 years ago. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to like actually try to like read my Bible every day, because I would read it, but then I'd be like 2 days, I'd be like, yes, I got this. And then the next day I'd be like waking up for work, and I'd be so tired. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't got this.
And you worked at Chick-fil-A, is that right?
Yeah, I started working at Chick-fil-A when I was 15, actually.
Wow.
And I couldn't even drive myself. My mom
Doesn't
had
she
to
have
drive
just
me.
the Chick-fil-A vibes? Oh, yeah, I couldn't even drive myself.
I
Yeah.
definitely did not have the Chick-fil-A vibe when I worked there. I would not talk to anybody.
Oh, shy.
I
Chick-fil-A
hated
worker.
talking to people. Yeah, I
Okay,
was
wow.
until
How-
my
The tables have
manager.
turned.
The tables have turned. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I'm a different person than I was when I was 15.
That's awesome.
good. Growth.
My manager actually, she was like, I was on Expo, and it was like the first or second week of me working
Whoa,
there.
whoa. That's some Chick-fil-A, hardcore Chick-fil-A lingo right there. I don't think Emma knows what expo means.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a former Chick-fil-A employee. So.
Okay, I'll help you out here.
What's expo?
So basically, Expo is like where you like hand the food out to like the people in the drive-thru. So it's like the last part. So
Okay.
you're like outside, and you like take it and hand it. And
Beautiful
for,
demonstration, by the way.
yeah.
If you're watching.
Exactly. You gotta make it descriptive,
Yeah.
But so I was like waiting. This sad person was waiting on their food, and they were like in the second lane, because we have 2 at ours, so it's like one lane and then another. And they were in the second lane. They'd been waiting on their food like 5 minutes, and it was me and like a manager outside, because she was showing me how to do it. And I was like, oh, this is so awkward, because they're just like there with the window down. They've been waiting so long. I haven't gone up and talked to them because I'm terrified to go up and talk to them. And my manager's like, hey, you need to go talk to them and ask them like just some random question. I don't remember what the question was, but it was so random. I was like, no, I cannot do
Just
that.
make small talk.
I was like, I cannot go ask them a question. Like, that's so awkward. They've been standing there for so long waiting. And so I ended up going, and they were just like, because I was scared that I was like, they're going to think I'm so strange. Like, what in the world? I cannot go do this. But then I was like, oh, they're just normal people. And so I was like, this isn't actually that bad. And so, so now I can talk to anybody after that experience. I can
Wow,
talk
just
to
one experience, you're cured of all its shyness.
The one question.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if it was that easy for the rest of us.
I know.
I don't know, man. There was something about that. I was terrified, but
Hey,
we're
that's
chilling
awesome.
now.
That's
But-
great.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, though.
Yeah, you're just talking about your growing up season,
Yeah.
and I asked you where you worked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Making your faith your own.
Yes.
That's where we kind of left off.
Okay. So starting like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like, let me read my Bible like every day. Like I'm going to try to read it. And like it was a process to figure out like what times, because I was also I was dual enrolling with HCC. I was taking high school classes. I was working at Chick-fil-A. I was playing club soccer, and like trying to find time for like family and friends. And I also couldn't drive for half of that. So that was also a problem. So like trying to find time was so hard. But I eventually like did. And I was like, dude, I feel like so different. And this was like crazy. And then I was like, okay. And I was like listening, like, not that secular music is bad, because I love like Justin Bieber and like all that kind of
Ooh,
music.
Bieber fever.
Yeah, I have a problem, but it's okay.
He's Christian though, right?
I mean, basically, no, kind of. He's working on it. But I was like listening to that stuff, and I realized that it was like making me kind of not feel like the best, like start my day off like the best that it could. So I was like, you know what? At work, normally I would work like 11 to 2 because I'd only get a 3-hour shift. And so I'd be like, before I go to work, the whole morning, I'm only going to listen to Christian music. And this was after I could drive myself too. So I would only like play Christian music, and I was like, dude, my day starts off so much better this way. I was like, this is my new thing. I was like, New Year's resolution, I'm just gonna listen to like Christian music before 12 o'clock. And so like I've kept that going on like as much as I can. Like if I'm in the car with somebody else, obviously I can't like control that. But it's like definitely started my days off like way better. And so that was like another turning point where like strengthening my faith, because like when you just like fill your life with like Christian music in the morning on top of like making sure you read the Bible and like all that, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like it makes you feel so much better. And like no matter what like that day is bringing, like no matter the amount of stress or crazy stuff you have to do, it like is so much better.
Yeah, well, Scripture talks in many passages about what you fill your heart and mind with is what's going to determine the attitude that you have. And I think Jesus was being accused of his disciples were eating food without washing their hands. The Pharisees are getting all up in arms about it. And he's like, it's not what you put in, but what comes out that defiles a person. And what comes out is contingent on what you put in as well when it comes to the content you listen to, the movies you watch, things, the people you hang around with. So the fact that you learned that through the music is awesome. Yeah. And you like listening to a lot of music, the worship music in the morning.
Yeah, I do. I definitely don't listen to too much secular music. I feel like when I was first saved, that's kind of something I was like, I'm not going to listen to any more secular music. I'm just going to listen to like worship music or Christian artists. And I think now we listen to like some secular artists and music, but not too much.
It's okay to have a little bit of Justin Bieber in there every once in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a little change, a little country music.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, a little country music. All right.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on. So
That's
you
awesome.
you can't get rid of it totally. Although not Ann Wilson. Yeah.
Ann Wilson. Yeah.
Oh, I love what she's doing.
Christian
She has
country.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
so good. I'm
it's
like
so
loving that
good.
she's like bringing like, because like there is Chris Tomlin tried to do it. It didn't really fully do. Zach Williams is kind of, but like not really. And so it's like she's doing it like actual country with like a Christian. So I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So started making Christ your own. Was there like an experience that propelled you to want to take, faith more seriously, like to read your Bible, to not listen to secular music? Like, did you go to a camp, or did you have a conversation with somebody? Was there death in the family, or is it kind of just a gradual, like, oh, I actually want to try really taking ownership of this? Was it a one-time moment or a gradual thing?
I think it was kind of like a gradual thing. I was just kind of like, I think it started off with like a New Year's resolution. Like, hey, if I'm actually a Christian, because I know like in a lot of like our Wednesday night services and stuff, they would talk about like, hey, you need to like read your Bible, like get an accountability partner, like all this stuff. But I was like, dude, I don't have time. I was like, I am so stressed out with everything I have going on. Like, how am I supposed to like sit down and like read so much? But they were like, you don't even have to like read it for that long. Like you can literally read like 10 minutes, like start off with 10 minutes. I was like, okay, maybe I can do that. And so it was kind of like a gradual thing. And it was like a challenge in the beginning. And it was like an actual challenge, like trying to make myself focus for 10 minutes in the morning was, that was a task, because I was tired and I did not want to like focus or read for that matter, because I don't like reading that much. But So yeah, it was kind of like a gradual thing. And I don't know. I think like it just kind of like caught on. Like it was really hard at first, but as I did it, and it probably took like doing it for, I don't know, a couple months, like probably 6 months before I was like found like the time that I can do it, because that was also, I think that was when I graduated. So like that was the year that I was like a senior graduating.
Yeah. What year was that you graduated?
2024.
Okay, cool.
2024.
Wow, I'm so old. Almost 10 years after my graduation from high school.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, ancient.
Ancient over here.
So when you graduated from in 2024, you came to Warner. What did it look like, your faith development coming from, being a high schooler to now college athlete?
Yeah.
What did that whole process look like when it came to your faith?
It was honestly kind of hard at first because I was like, it was very transition because, if you don't know, I was homeschooled my whole life. So I had no idea what school was going to look like in general. Like I should have, because I dual enrolled with HCC, but I don't know why that never, like, I'm really bad at getting clues. So like if it's supposed to make sense, it probably won't to me unless somebody tells me. And I got to college, I was like, dude, I don't want to have like 8 classes every single day, because like that's how much I think maybe I had 7. But I was like, I don't want to have to go to 8 classes every day. I was like, this is going to be so bad. And then my roommate was like, you only have like 2 a day, right? It's just different classes. I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. I was like way happier.
Yeah, if you didn't know, you know. I thought you had to do it all year too. I didn't realize a class was just for one semester.
Oh.
I originally thought.
Yeah.
And I went to a high school, but I still didn't know that. Yeah. So.
I mean, that's how it is in high school.
Right.
Like,
one class, the whole thing.
Yeah, you have the same person the whole time.
Oh yeah, that actually does make sense.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I want to take it for a semester. Oh, thank the Lord. Yeah.
Lord, we only have to do one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so wait, what was the question again?
Basically, when it came to that transition from high school to college, like what did it I just want to hear about that whole transition, whether it's from a faith aspect, from a personal growth aspect, playing college soccer aspect, whatever direction you want to go with that.
Okay. So it was definitely a jump. Because I've never really been around away from my family that long, because we're always like a close family, like we always do everything together. So being gone was definitely hard. And we got there early before anybody else because of preseason. So we were there like 3 weeks to a month before like anybody would actually get there for like school.
Right.
So it was just like me and my teammates, and I didn't know anybody, and that like stressed me out a lot because I was like, yeah, I know, I'm with a roommate I don't even know. Like this is so bad. I was like, I need to actually start pretending like I'm working at Chick-fil-A again. So we got there, and I think it probably helped me lean more on God, because I was like, okay, now I really need to like dive into this and make sure that like I do it. And my roommate also, like, I would wake up and she would like also be doing her devotion or like her Bible study, like under her bed or whatever she was doing. And so, that also motivated me, like, hell, I can't, cause I'm competitive too. So I was like looking like, oh, if she's doing it, I have to do it. Yeah. So that helped me a lot too. But I think it definitely did grow me the first year. The first year was also really hard because I felt like I didn't really have a place. So like there was a lot of times that I would go home and like I'd cry when I have to go back to school, because I was like, I don't want to go back. I like home. Yeah. Like it was just more comfortable. And so leaning on God, and that was definitely a big thing. And I think I think my faith like grew in that. But that's also when I like kind of solidified, like, let me get it done in the morning. Because there were days like we'd have morning practices, and I'd be like, or weights at like 7 a.m. And I'd be like, no, I'll go do it after I get back. And when school started, that stopped working because I'd have class. And so then I would forget to do it, or I'd have to do it like during the day, like find a time during the middle of the day, which was like really hard because, you have class, then you have homework, then you have practice, and then more homework. So I was like, okay, this isn't working. So I was like, we have to figure this out. And so then probably last year, I kind of found a thing where I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my Bible study. I'm going to give myself an hour. And no matter how early I have to get up, I will get up in the morning before like I have anything. So like for work, when I went back to summer, I would get up, because I didn't do this like during spring. This was like summer of last year. Okay. Because we'd have to get up at like 5 for practice. And I was like, I can't up at 4. There's no way. There's no way I can do that.
I love you, Jesus, but not that much.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but we're gonna have to wait on this. So in the summer, I started doing that, and so there were days I had to be at work by 5:30, and I would get up at like 4 a.m. just to make sure that I would get my Bible study done like before, because I knew like as soon as I got home I would be dead tired and like I would not want to do anything. So I was like made that a thing, and that was really hard too, because like getting up that early like is definitely hard, because I did not go to bed early. Like I was with my family, like I'm gonna hang out with them. So that took some time, probably, but less time than when I first started it. So probably over the summer I was able to get in like the not grind, I don't know if that's the right word, but
the rhythm, the discipline of waking up early and doing
you can't tell, words are hard, guys.
Oh, no, you're rocking it.
But so like trying to get in like the rhythm of doing it, making sure I spend like an hour, like not that I will take an hour, most of the time it's like 45 minutes, but I want to give myself that time so I'm not rushed. Because like if I woke up like with 30 minutes before I had to go do something, I would be so stressed out and I wouldn't like really pay attention to what like I thought like I should be like learning from it.
Right.
And I wouldn't have the time to like, hey God, what do you want me to get from this? Because I'd be so rushed. I'm like, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done. So I gave myself like an hour, and it took probably most of the summer to get like into that, okay, fine, I'll get up way earlier than I need to, kind of thing. But it's like led into this, and it's like so much better because like my day like starts off so good too. And no matter like if I miss it, like there was actually while I was on like the mission trip, I didn't do my Bible study because I can't remember if I didn't bring my Bible. I don't think I did. I think I brought something like my phone. I had it on my phone, but like I don't think I had my physical Bible there. So I wasn't like doing it, and we were so busy anyways. And so like, but there was like this thing that was like missing when I wasn't doing it. I was like, oh, this feels so strange. I was like, I'm so used to like getting up in the mornings and doing it, and I like wasn't. And so so it's definitely like a thing now where it's like if I miss it, I can tell that I missed it, and it's like my day. I mean, I still have a good day, but it's not as good as it could have been. Like if it was, started off the right way.
Yeah, for sure. Something that I think is interesting that you shared when you were describing the high school years or middle school years and how you're busy, you're doing Chick-fil-A, you're doing club soccer and things of that nature. And I don't have time for Wednesday night service or to read or whatever. And and how you had to transition from that to, all right, this New Year's resolution is I'm going to make it a priority, which is ultimately what it comes down to, because everybody's busy. Everybody has a lot of things, but what we make a priority, we make time for. And you're a prime example of you can still be busy and make time for God. Like it's not like you drop soccer. It's not like you drop your studies. It's not like you drop different things. You just made God the center of it all, and everything you do is now led by God. Now I would love to hear a little bit about, you mentioned the mission trip that you're just on, and I know you can't get into specifics for confidentiality's sake and where you traveled to. But I want to hear, so you're at Warner, you're now got that daily discipline of being God's word. What made the switch to now and like to switch your major, as you're describing at the beginning, to a more ministry minded sports ministry major? When did that shift happen? And then talk to us about that.
So probably last year. Yeah. So like the beginning of last year, I was like, oh, how am I going to pay back like all this money? Cause I was like, athletic training does not, I was like, honestly, I only came to Warner for soccer. So like finding something I wanted to do, it's not that I wanted to do athletic training, but I was like, that's staying with my sport. So like, I'll do that. But, they don't make a lot of money. So like the amount of money I'm paying to go to school, like, even though like I'm on scholarship and I'm like on a really good one, that doesn't help with like all the money that I can't pay back because my job's not going to like pay me that much money. So I was like, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. And then I started thinking, I had heard this message. Actually, it might have been a podcast. It might have actually been a podcast, but I can't remember. Thrive and Die podcast episode. Oh yeah. But they said that to find like what you want to do is like a career, you like take your like, or to find your purpose, you take what you're good at and what you love and you combine it together. And so I was like, okay, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, soccer and Jesus. I was like, how the heck does that go together? I was like, I don't even, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to put that together, but okay. And so I kind of just kept going with the like exercise science degree. And then during the summer, our church does this internship. And I was like, oh, bet. I was like, I'm going to do that because like then like, because you also get paid for it. So I was like, I can do that. I can kind of like get into like the church idea of everything and just see if that's like something I would want to do. And I went to the interview, like the interview went good. Everything went good, but I got a call and he was like, so I have a proposition for you. He's like, we don't have a sports ministry. Cause that's when I was trying to like figure out like what can I do? Like, I was like, okay, sports ministry is soccer and, what's it called? Soccer and Jesus together. So I was like, okay, let's just kind of like feel out where that could be. And he was like, so we don't actually have like a sports ministry program, like anything to do with sports. So like our church like has ministry, but not like related to sports. And so he was like, yeah, let's just see. And then he told me about this. So like at VBS, we have like rec at VBS. And he was like, so if you would want to like help with that, he's like, we already have like a head point, but if you want to like help right under that, like I'll totally get you into that. And then he's like, also, if you would like to be the head over VBS, kids camp, he's like, I'll make you the head over the rec of kids camp. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, yeah, that's perfect. I was like, I don't even care. Like, that's what I wanted to do anyways. So I ended up doing that, and that kind of like solidified like, okay, this is what I want to do. Cause like the kids in VBS, they were so cute. And I was like, I was able to like, all I did was like explain the games over and over to them, like to different groups that came in. And then I would tell them their Bible story at like the end, and they were just like adorable. And I was just like, I love this so much. And then we get to camp, and it was like the same thing, but like for a week. And we were like, I was in the group with 5th grade girls, and they were so sweet. And they want me to do their camp this year for 6th grade. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to go back, but I'm trying. So they were really sweet. And it was just like the fact that like to go back that, his name was, Mr. Justin. So
Mr. Justin.
Yeah. The fact that he like was like, oh yeah. Cause he didn't know that much about me. Like he knew me through like my parents that were like serving. Cause like they always served at church, but they served like as we grew up. So when Ledger, which is my youngest brother, when he graduated into like the student ministry, they went into the student ministry, but he was still over like all the kids stuff. So like he knew me kind of through them, but like not really.
Yeah.
So like for him to be like, hey, yeah, I'll put you in charge over all of like the rec at camp. That's a big deal because there's like 500 students that go to camp. And so it's like a huge thing. And I was just so surprised that he was like, so like, oh yeah, you can go do that. Like, that's like, we need somebody. It's like, okay, bet. But that kind of like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I want to do, because I was like explaining to them the games, and just like helping them like to just get through them, because a lot of them were like trust games, and like there were like fun rec games, but there were also like trust games that they had to do. And so watching them work together, they were just so cute and adorable. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. So I was like, okay, so this is what I want to do. Because there were also like Jesus was like obviously there. And then I'm like still doing sports, even though it was random, but I still had to like, I even got to help like pick some of them. They were like, yeah, we need extra sports. So if you have any ideas, just text me. And like, I'll add them in for you. I was like, okay. And so I got on Pinterest. I was like, hey, what about this idea? What about this idea? Yeah. And so like, I got to help with so much. And I was like, really, I was really surprised, because it was like, that was so much fun. Like that's as much as I could have asked for. Yeah. And so coming off of that, I was like, okay, how in the world am I supposed to make this into a career though? Because I was still like, I don't know. And then I think it was like probably close to the beginning of classes, maybe towards the middle of classes. My teacher was like, hey, like, I know that you don't really want to do like athletic training anymore. And she's like, it also requires a master's degree now. So she's like, I don't want you to like go through like an extra schooling, which I wouldn't have a scholarship for because it only lasts 4 years. So she's like, I wouldn't want you to like spend all the money if that's not what you want to do. And she's like, I know you want to do sports ministry. So she's like, I'm trying to get a sports ministry program at Warner in honor of you. So like other students that want to do what you want to do, they can. And I was like, I felt so honored. I was like, you want to make fun for, like, you're trying to make fun for me? Like, what are you talking about? And so, yeah, she started talking about that, and I was just so excited, and I was like, yes. And she's like, I'll like get you like email and like all the like details and stuff so you can like go through the process. But she was like, I don't know if it'll be done before you graduate, but there's definitely a way that you can like get your degree like around not having that degree, but like you'll still get the stuff you need. So yeah, she said that. And then the next day we were actually on a field trip, which this is crazy because this is how like I ended up going on this mission trip. And it was like confirmation day after day of like 5 days. And so that was day one, because I was like, it came out of nowhere because I hadn't really talked to her about it. So I don't really know how she knew that I wanted to do sports ministry, because I never really said anything to her about it. So yeah, so that was one day. Next day, we go on a field trip, when one of my friends was just like, I know this is so random and last minute, but would you want to go on this mission trip and we like teach Jesus through soccer? And I was like, yes. I was like, that's exactly, because I had been telling other people like I want to go to like a different country and teach little kids about Jesus through soccer. That's what I wanted to do. And that's like basically how she explained it. And I was like, how did you explain that to the T? Because I know I did not tell you that.
Right.
So that was like crazy.
All lining up.
Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, dude, what in the world's happening? And so the next day, one of my teachers, I like email or texted her. I was like, hey, Miss Terry, I was like, can you be my spiritual reference for this? And she's like, yes, duh. She's like, when is it? How much does it cost? She's like asking all these questions. She's like, I want to make sure that you have the money to go on this mission trip.
Yeah.
And that was the thing I was most worried about because it was like really expensive. And so I was like, how am I supposed to get this much money? And she's like, I don't want you to worry about that. And so I had like told my parents about it probably like the day that my teammate had said like what we were doing. And my mom was like, you're going to a different country? No, thank you. Like I've never been out of the country, let alone on an airplane.
Sure.
Whoa.
In this country, which is pretty far.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It was pretty far away. So it was definitely like a very different than like what anybody in our family was used to. And I don't think I've ever actually been like out of the state without my family.
Wow.
Like
that's a big deal to go that far.
Yeah, like up until like when I was telling her that, never had I been out of the state without them. Like nothing. Because we do everything as a family. And so she was like not very for it at the beginning. And then I think that was Saturday. So on Sunday, I actually stayed home because I was like tired. I don't remember what we had. But I ended up watching our like service back home online, and it was literally about a guy that went to Peru on a baseball mission trip. And I was like, okay, this is just like falling, and I don't even understand what's happening right now. And so after I texted my mom, I was like, Mom, you gotta pay attention to the sermon today. And so she was like, okay, haha, whatever. And then she
like, sure, Shelby.
yeah, no, literally, she's like, okay, whatever you say. But then my dad sent me like the link to the sermon, and he's like, you should watch this. I was like, don't worry, I already did. I watched that at 9 a.m. Yes. And I was like, don't worry, I already watched it. And then I was like, I texted Mom to watch it closely, and he was like, oh, so that's why she's crying. And I was like, oh, that was not supposed to happen. And he was like, no, it's like good. Like she knows that's what God's calling you to do.
Wow.
And so then the day after that, my teacher, Miss Terry, she actually sent me like a reel. It was like our church does like little short Instagram reels. And so she sent me that, and she's like, this just reminded me of you. And I was like, okay, like 5 days in a row was crazy.
That's awesome. What a testimony.
Yeah.
Like there's no coincidence when God is working behind the scenes, and just the steps that you orchestrated to see that happen. And like I said before, we can't talk about the specifics of that mission trip due to confidentiality purposes, but how does it feel being back from the mission trip? Was everything expected? Where are you now with this desire to do ministry, sports ministry? What's the latest and greatest?
It was definitely different than what I expected. I was very surprised, I'm not gonna lie. Because I've also never been like out of the country. So the things like different countries do is like very different.
Sure.
But I loved it. Like I would go back in a heartbeat. Like it was so much fun. Like that was genuinely like one of the most fun things I like have ever done. And a lot of times I'll be like kind of get homesick, even if I'm just like, because we had gone on a trip with some of our friends to North Carolina or Georgia, but it was like, close enough. But so I had gone that, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, this is fun, but like I kind of want to be home, because I was also for Christmas break, so I didn't have like that much of a time. But like for some reason, like on this mission trip, like I was not like that homesick, because I was like, this is just like what I want to do. I was like, this is just like, I love this so much. And so yeah, it was way different than what I thought it was going to be, but it was like really worth it. And it was like really rewarding, and to like just see like how God moved, because he did in like different ways. Cause like we showed his love through actions with soccer. And so it was really cool.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're able to do that. And something that you mentioned, and I'm curious if you're still in process with this. And if that's the case, that's fine. I don't have to answer this, but you're talking about, the financial money I'll be able to make as a sports trainer isn't worth the money I'm putting into it. Excuse me. Have you made your peace that if the Lord's calling you to do sports ministry, that finances is not going to be something to worry about, but just trust in the Lord?
Yeah, that was something also that I thought about because like you don't make that much money either.
Right.
But I was like, if I'm choosing one or the other, I'm gonna choose like. Well, first of all, I can't. I feel like I can't choose because I'm like, if I know God's calling me to sports ministry, like I have to do
Right.
it.
It's
so it's
not
like
optional.
it's like
Yeah.
regardless, that's what I'm gonna have to do, and like like God will provide a way for me to pay back college eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of another thing about the mission trip though. I low-key got scared and I was like, yeah, maybe I don't want to go on this for like there were multiple reasons, but I was like, yeah, maybe not. And I never had a passport obviously because I never like needed one. And so I got one. I was like, there's no way it's gonna come in. I was like, it's not gonna come in. And I was like, okay, God, if I'm not supposed to go on this mission trip, don't let my passport come in. And then it came in 3 days early, and I was like, okay, never mind. So we're going on this trip. But yeah.
That's awesome.
How long were you there for?
We were there for 10 days.
Oh,
So
so
it was
long
a day
time.
there, a day back. Yeah.
And yeah, well, and you weren't homesick at all.
Actually, no. I was excited to go on an airplane though, because I'd never been on one, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to go on an airplane so bad."
First,
Yeah.
like how many hours of a flight was
It
it?
was 24.
24 hours. The
Yeah.
first plane ride here. That
That's
folks never been on the
crazy.
plane before. The first
Same.
flight 24 hours.
Yes. No, the saying for that whole trip was like, "Go big or go home." There were so many different things
Yeah.
that
No,
got
for
used
real.
for.
You went
But
big,
yeah.
that's for sure. Wow. No, but we'll be praying for you as you, obviously you're a sophomore, so you still have more schooling to do as you continue to discern what the Lord has for you specifically. But yeah, our encouragement to you is follow what the Lord is leading you to do. I know that's what I've done. I've done jobs that, aren't glamorous in terms of the paycheck, and God has provided, and will continue to provide as he sees fit. But it's so cool that God has such like a missional calling on your life, right? I think every Christian has a missional calling. Sometimes we might want to ignore it or run away from it, but it seems like it's kind of clear for you. And I just encourage you to not ignore it or run away from it, but just trust the process for sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Great. Well, this has been good. Any final thoughts you want to share as we close this episode?
I don't know. Thinking is hard.
No, you're good. You've rocked it. I think the
Yeah.
listeners are going to be encouraged by that. I think just your transformation in high school, taking ownership of your faith, your daily disciplines, incorporating that as a college athlete, stepping on faith and pursuing a career that's not maybe what the world would think is something that needs to be pursued from a monetary standpoint. That testimony of how that mission trip alignment came to be with, the professor exploring an option to create a ministry degree for you. Your teammate the next day providing an opportunity for sports ministry. Your mom not sure about it, but then the sermon's about it, and she's crying because she knows that confirmation. That's a beautiful testimony right there. So a lot of good things for the listeners to take away from this episode.
Yeah,
So thanks for sharing all that.
Of course.
Thanks for coming on Thrive and Dive.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
letting
it.
me
Of
come.
course.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Round of applause for Shelby. She rocked it. Well, folks, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button on YouTube and follow us on Spotify. And thank you again, Shelby, for being on. And this is Thrive and Dive, thriving in life as we dive into deeper conversations. Have a great rest of your day.